Welcome back to the weekly review, and this week we go from cool grays to South Beach with a little bit of Wale in between. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and this is the weekly review. KicksOnFire. This week's number 5 is an update to a classic Nike silhouette, the Nike Air Max 90. The model uses leather and mesh on the upper and dips it all in a beautiful cool gray. Now, white accents layer the Nike swoosh, outsole, laces, and the tongue, making this Air Max 90 stand out more than your typical release. Now, they are available now at Premiere, so with that said, let's move on to number 4. Last week at number 4, we had the Air Jordan 5 Retro Wolf Gray, and this week we're going to go with an OG version of the sneaker in black and metallic silver. According to Modern Notoriety, the Air Jordan 5 Retro Black Metallic Silver will be dropping this summer. Pricing is said to be at $150, though there is no solid release date as of yet. However, though this is big news, it is not the first time this model has retroed, because it retroed in 2007 and also in the year 2000. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that this is an early summer release and not a late summer release, and that is the Air Jordan 5 Retro in black and metallic silver. Let's move on to number 3. Black and red is arguably one of the most sought after colorways on any sneaker. Though there is one colorway that may be able to rival black and red, and that is red and white. Seen here on an Air Jordan 6, 11, 12, 14, 15, and 16 is a bunch of red and white colorways. Now, to spice things up a bit, US 10 has thrown in a Michael Jordan home and away jersey, making this pretty much a red and white Air Jordan shoe collection of shoe porn of sorts, I guess you could call it. Shoe porn, yeah. I think it's safe to call this shoe porn. So with that said, let's move on to number 2. Wale made our countdown last week when he gave us a preview of the Foamposite Dark Pine. This week, Wale returns to the countdown, but it's not for shoes, it's for something he's doing for Africa. Earlier last week, Wale tweeted that he would be sending clothes and sneakers to Nigeria. In the images seen here, we see a bunch of highly sought after Foamposites like the metallic pewters, electric greens, and the coppers, plus many, many more. So big shout out to Wale for giving back. We really appreciate that. That's big of you, Wale. Good shit, doggy. Let's move on to number 1. The number 1 sneaker for this week comes courtesy of a custom job by sneaker customizer Eric El Capi Laurie. The model is inspired by the LeBron 8 South Beach that released last year and uses an Air Jordan 6 Oreo as the base. Now, filament green leather is used on the perforated and tumbled leather upper, while pink and black are used on the midsole and tongue. Now, a white and translucent outsole sits below with the words El Capi and Juan the Blogger, the gentleman who commissioned the shoes, appearing on the heel. So that is our number 1 pick, the Air Jordan 6 South Beach. Let's move on to my personal pick. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked you guys about your holy grails, and you guys were nice enough to share that information with me in the comments. While I was reading through the comments though, it got me to thinking, and I started wondering about the process of buying shoes. So I wanted to ask you guys, what was the first shoe that you ever paid for with your own money? I'm not talking about mom giving you money or dad giving you money. I'm talking about you going out and working to make some money to buy a pair of shoes. Or maybe you could use your allowance or whatever. You used your allowance to buy your own pair of shoes. These weren't part of your school clothes. These were school shoes that you wanted and you actually paid for. So leave me a note in the comments and I'll read some of the responses next week about what shoe you paid for. What was the first shoe that you actually paid for with your own money? Well, that is all we have for the weekly review. As always, I really appreciate you guys, and I thank you for watching these videos. Feel free to leave comments down here. If Facebook and Twitter is your thing, the information is down here in the description, so you can follow us on Facebook and or Twitter. Again, if you enjoy the videos, make sure you subscribe. We really appreciate it, and it makes a big difference to us here at KicksOnFire.com. So that is the end of your weekly review. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and I will see you all next week. Peace.